So, today is April the 1st. We're going to be working on these notes for using ratios to convert measurements. And we're able to use a list off of the wall on the side, and so that helps a little bit. Okay, so step 1. We were just talking about this. I forgot to hit the record button. Whatever they give us is the first thing we list on this side. Okay, 4 yards. And the next step is we're going to multiply. Put a multiply sign and a fraction bar, just like that. Okay, now, since yards is on top, I need yards to be on bottom down here, and there's a reason. Go back to thinking about fractions. If we simplified a fraction, we had to do like a top and a bottom, and we could cross them out. Or a top and a bottom, and we could cross them out. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing here. So since yards is on top here, I need yards on the bottom here. Now, the last kind of step is to look up here. They wanted feet. They want us to figure out feet. So feet is going to go on top. Now, looking at the wall, you want to find a measurement of feet and yards. Or yards and feet. Which one? What has feet and yards in it? 3 feet is what?
1 yard.
1 yard. Okay, so plug that in on this side. So 3 feet is 1 yard. I just pulled that off the wall. 3 feet is 1 yard. That's all I'm doing is plugging it in. Now it's kind of like making fractions. And we get to literally multiply. Go across the top. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1, which is really just a 12, right? 12 divided by 1. Now, to get the measurement, just look at this. If top and bottom matches, we get to kind of get rid of them, leaving what we have left over is the part of our answer. Plus, to be honest, it's right here. It's the same thing, right there and right there. It's not hard. It's what my problem is if you start going too fast. Just kind of take it slow. Okay, let's look at the second one here. So 32 cups equals how many fluid ounces? Okay, start out. Put what they gave you, 32 cups on top. Put your time sign and your fraction bar. Okay, if cups is on top here, I need cups on the bottom here so that we can simplify them out later. Now, fluid ounces is what that stands for. So I need fluid ounces right there. So if I look at my wall, fluid ounces in cups, 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. Okay, so 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. Okay, now we get to multiply straight across. Okay, so 256 fluid ounces. Okay? Listen, this is the kind of stuff that, or there's one down here somewhere, like, anyway, in a few minutes, some of these I know off the top of my head, or I can figure out real fast. But what, like that one. But what happens is, the formula helps you on the ones that are kind of more rough, I guess. Miss Sawyer was saying that this is used all over higher math and chemistry. And she said it is used all the time in chemistry class. And if you can imagine, we have in our cars like miles per hour, mph, miles per hour. We get that. But what if someone asked us to not only change the miles to like feet, but change the hours to like seconds? That'd be a lot of numbers to change. And she says this is how they teach you to do all that. So we're just trying to pre-teach it, I guess. Yes?
My sister, she's a scientist, and she was doing the stuff with measurement. She said it's kind of hard to know.
It is hard, and it's hard if you are, when you get to their age, higher math, if you're still stumbling over those numbers, it's hard. So you got to kind of get it memorized, I guess. Okay, so, and luckily this week, guys, we're doing the same thing. So we do the same thing. Here we go. 3 tons. 3 tons is what they gave me. I'm going to put it on top. I know the next step is I'm going to put a multiply sign and a fraction bar. If tons is on top here, I need it on the bottom there. What do I need up here? Pounds. LBS is pounds. So I need pounds to tons. There it is. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. Okay. So, now I just multiply straight across and I get 6,000 pounds. Now, many of you are seeing the multiply. But if you go ahead of me, there's some division involved in a second. Please don't go ahead of me. Okay, let's do D. Everybody good so far?
Will words be counted off if you don't list the measurements?
Yes, totally. Totally, because this is all measurement. It shouldn't be bad, though, to be honest, because I think the measurement, like the way it's written, it will already be there for you. So that should help you. Okay. Now, here we go. 7 quarts. We're going to put 7 quarts on top times, and quarts has to go on bottom because it's got to be 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, so we can simplify them. Put the gallon on top. Now, gallons to quarts is what? 1 gallon to 4 quarts. Okay. Now, so I filled this in from my chart on the wall. Here's the next step. If you multiply straight across, 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 4 is 4. 7 over 4, guys. Now, I need fractional answers. Unless it gives you a decimal. I need fractional answers. I need you to go in and do 7. If you can't simplify this thing, do 7 ABC 4. One and 3/4, right, gallons. You've got to simplify it with a fraction. Unless it started as a decimal. Otherwise, always do a fraction. Yes? Okay. It's all with the way it is set up. The reason this one started showing us division is our 1 was on top. And up here, they're on the bottom. The weird part is, just look at, I mean, if it is just 1 number on this side, okay, think of it this way. It's always over 1. Now it just looks like a multiplication problem, okay? But here's the next step. You're not always going to have 1s on the bottom. So that's kind of where we're going, okay? Like this one, 5.5. Okay, so start out when you do these. If it starts out as like a mixed number like that one, go ahead and write it as an improper fraction. So think about doing the backward C. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 1 is what? 11 over 2. Keep that denominator, remember? Now, it is pounds. LB is pounds. The reason I'm saying this is go ahead and write the LB like next to the 11 because it needs to be on the top. That means that when you go to do this side, the LB should be on the bottom, right? Okay. So I did 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11 over 2. That gives me a top and a bottom. Now, LB's on the top, LB's on the bottom for pounds. But I need ounces on the top. So to look over there and find my measurement, it is how many ounces in a pound? 16. So 16 goes with ounces, 1 goes with pound. Now you have it set up to do the math. This is the thing. You don't always, I can't say you always multiply or divide, because look, now we're going to do both. 11 times 16 is 176. 2 times 1 is 2. I don't know why you're not writing this with, 2 will go into 17. 88 with a 6 with 16 will be 88 times. It is 88 ounces. Here's the thing. It's not always multiply, and it's not always divide. It sometimes is both steps. I need it in simplest form with fractions or whole numbers. Decimals only if they gave you decimals. Okay, doing letter B here. Okay, so change the 7 3/4. It would be 7 times 4 is 28 plus 3. 31 over 4. Okay. You want the quarts to go with the 31, make sure it's on top. Times and a fraction, quarts on the bottom. They're wanting me to find pints, so that's why I'm going to put it on top. Quarts to pints. 2 pints in 1 quart. Okay, so 2 pints in 1 quart. Stop, please. Now I can multiply straight across. 31 times 2. And then 4 times 1. Now, I would use the ABC button, 62 ABC 4, because it's going to give you a fraction, yes, 15 and a half, and it is pints. It is honestly the same thing all week. If you will get the point, if you'll get it the steps, you can look up there all week. That's not a problem. It's getting the steps. Okay. Try 1, 2, and 3 right now. Just try it. On the back. Try it. Do it. Just try it. See if you can set it up. Same thing. Turn around and try it yourself. You, not your neighbor. You. Yes. Uh-huh.
Number 3, is that one repeating?
Nothing. That's 5,000 pounds. LB. T is for tons. Sorry. I see what you're saying now. It's a capital T for tons.
Okay.
Yeah. I just always write ton, but they used an abbreviation. Okay. So 12 cups. Okay, so number 1, did you get 96?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Okay. Number 2, that is 9 lb. That is 9 pounds. Not 91. So if on the top is the LB, I need on the bottom is the LB. So 1 pound is 16 ounces. This part I'm getting off the wall of our measurement chart. LBs go away. 9 times 6, 54. So I get 144 ounces. Okay. Do this one. 5,000. That is for tons, and that is for pounds. Okay. Multiplying straight across.
I thought the pounds was LBS.
Or LB or LBS, yes.
What does LBS even stand for? Pounds.
Pounds. Now, when you get like numbers like this, if you don't know how to simplify them, like it's really officially 5,000 divided by 2,000, but I don't need a decimal, I need it with a fraction. So I would hit the ABC button between them. If you do 5,000 ABC 2,000 equals 2 and 1/2. And it looks weird that you can go from that to that, but that is what it is. Now, what should the abbreviation be? Tons. Uh-huh. No, you're fine. I just don't like that capital T. So I keep writing it out on that. Okay, 36 feet with a times. Feet should be on the bottom. Yards on top. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. Multiply straight across. getting them so far? It's 5,000 pounds. So the 2,000 has to be on bottom. You, like, this is where some of you, I need you to kind of slow down and use the formula or the steps of doing this so you don't miss every other one. It just kind of worries me that. So I see that they gave me 730 yards. If you're doing this with me, like, help me out here. 730 yards. I know the next step is times. And we're going to put that fraction bar second with the yards on bottom. Okay, I got those two, one on top and one on bottom. So that means miles needs to go on top. On my list, I find miles to yards. It is 1 mile for every 1,760 yards. Okay. Now that I've got it all set up, my yards go away. And I can multiply. 730 times 1 is 730. 1 times 1760 is 1760. And I would hit the ABC button between them. Make sure they do or don't simplify. And you get 73 over 176. Miles. Try it. If y'all don't try it, you don't know if you can do it. This week, I'm trying to make very little homework, like get most of it done in class. But you gotta work with me. Okay, gotta do the backwards C on this part. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17 over 5. The miles goes on top. Miles is on bottom so that we can cross them out. I need feet on top because it's kind of like my missing one, the one I'm trying to find. Okay, there is on the board, I found that there is 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So this part I got off the board. Okay, now I'm going to multiply straight across. And I'll be honest, I don't remember without looking. I got 17 times 5,280 is 89760. It's huge. But think about it. Wouldn't that be big? We had, like, it, and it kind of makes sense. Now, when we divide it by 5, it's still a whole number. And I just don't remember. Okay, there we go. If I divide by 5, I get 17,952 feet. I was still back there trying to figure out what it is. 8th period. I am still working, so you should still be working or checking your work as I go. Number 7. We need to do the backwards C. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15 over 2. 15 goes with gallons. I need gallons on the bottom, quarts on top. Okay, from my chart, I got that there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Gives me 60 over 2, which is 30 quarts. Okay. Number 8, 3/4 of a ton. Now, 3 over 4. T goes, the ton is on top. So, when we multiply, we need ton on the bottom, pound on top. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. If I multiply straight across, I get 3 times 2,000 is 6,000 over 4. And 4 goes into 6,000, 1,500 times. Okay, last 2. 24 fluid ounces calculators, please. Thank you. And cups. So, looking at the list, okay, 8 fluid ounces to 1 cup. And if I multiply straight across, I get 24 on the top, 8 on the bottom, whole number of 3 cups, or 3C. You're still in here. I don't know how you're packing up because you don't know if your answers are right for the bottom ones. Okay, backward C here. 16/3. Okay, I put feet on top, feet on the bottom. I need feet to yards. Well, I know there is 3 feet in 1 yard. Giving me a 16 on top and a 9 on bottom. If I simplify it, it goes 1 7/9, and it would be yards. We will honestly be doing the same thing all week. I am hoping that honestly we get it all done in class this week. All classes pretty much had 9 and 10 left before the bell rang. Okay. See you tomorrow.